Oh, Saints Row 2022, what could have been and what should have been. A franchise that desperately needed a reboot after Saints Row 4, and a reboot that failed to deliver on pretty much all fronts. Poor story, repetitive gameplay, and a buggy release. It's no wonder that Volition closed down after this game came out. However, it was free on PlayStation Plus, and that's why we're doing this video and trying to get ourselves a very easy but cringy Platinum Trophy. So after that moments before disaster intro card, we start off the game as part of Marshall, a private security firm, and to be honest, I like the intro to this game. The first hour to 2 hours of the game where you're part of Marshall, and before you establish the Saints, is actually the best part of the game, which, for a game called Saints Row, is pretty sad, but the whole starting off as a soldier, I do like that, and wish they expanded upon it a lot more before they kind of went, here's some decent story, and then they threw it all away. But the basic intro to the game is, you're part of Marshall as a normal soldier, chasing after this guy, who's called the Noelle, or something along those lines. Basically a bad guy, a leader of a cartel slash gang or whatever, and to no surprise, your person is kind of the hero. You chase after him, you land on this VTOL jet, and you manage to take him down, as well as the jet, whilst the other Marshall people kind of stand there and do nothing. You got Gwen there, a bit of a side character, which again, pretty decent side character, but should have and could have expanded more upon. But it's the first mission of the game, for me, one of the best missions of the game, and like I said, nothing but downhill from here. Not much awkward comedy either. And we get our first trophy, which is first fucking day. It's at the point in the video where I can swear now. And we get to a point now where we can start earning some trophies and into a bit of free roam. So that's what we do. The first thing we do is go into the Wanted app, which is, again, something that could have been a lot better. Maybe they could have introduced some parts of the story into the Wanted app and done some extra little bits. They didn't, and yeah, it just becomes an unnecessary grind fest, but we do get ourselves our second trophy in Wet Work. As you can see in the bottom left hand corner, we're earning some trophies. Next one, super simple, called To The Nines. Basically open this style up, a gimme kind of trophy, but a trophy I will take nevertheless. We then move on to some different types of trophy, which is for basically completing side missions. You get the first one called the side job for completing a side hustle. I don't remember completing one. I thought I just started one, but either way, a trophy is a trophy. And this is the side hustle I started, which was the Atcha app, which was basically you go over and then you enter like a horde kind of scenario where you gotta defend yourself, kill all the enemies, and once you kill all the enemies, you complete that mission. I think you need to complete all these. It's one of the side hustles. Again, this game is one of those, complete everything, and then you get every single trophy. And that's pretty much what we're doing. We're then going to a store and getting ourselves the optimized trophy that just popped there for customizing a weapon. Again, another gimme trophy. Customize it however you want, and then you get that trophy. Now we're looking at some of these side jobs and events coming up. And the first one that you can kind of find is a random encounter called Crimes of Opportunity, which is like a big money bag on the map. Whenever you find these, and I mean whenever, stop and do them. You need to do 10 for a trophy, and for later on in the video you'll find out, it is one of the last trophies we actually get in this game because they are so hard to come by. I think I ran across 12 during the game. 2 I missed out because one I wasn't quick enough to go to, and the other one, it was just basically just past my mind completely and I forgot about it. But that's what happened. After that, we've got some store objectives we need to complete, which I'm not going to show you a video of. On the map you can see the stores that are in green. Go to a store, buy an item that completes the store objective and checks it off your checklist. And the next one is this choplifting side job. And again, I'm showing you all these now. They are not like trophies at the moment, but they are trophies in the long run. I'm just showing you what these missions are like. And choplifting is one of them. You get put into a helicopter, you go from point A to point B, and you just basically pick up an item and drop it back at base. Job's good. It's so boring, and you're never in any danger of getting destroyed. It's kind of a waste of a job. And the next one is this one that's actually pretty decent, called Riding Shotgun, where you are on the top of a car or in the car, and you've just got to like defend the car against waves of enemies that keep spawning and chasing after you. Again, I kind of like this. Don't worry about the side objectives, they mean nothing. But probably one of the best side missions is that one there, for the Riding Shotgun. And sticking on the car theme, we're going to go for the next trophy, which is called Tune Up. Pretty self-explanatory. Customise the vehicle at a garage, and then when you exit and save the changes, the trophy will pop like it did there. Tune Up. Next, we're going back to the story, and again, for me, this is where the last good bit of the story ends, because the first, like, again, 1 hour to 2 hours of this game, pretty decent. A few side jobs here and there, the main mission's quite decent, but to cut a long story short, you are still part of Marshall, and you're now defending this museum that's going to display the Codex, and the Codex is this big thing that you're after, and to be honest, the game doesn't really give a good reason why. It's just this item, this book that you're after, but as you can expect in Saints Row, you get attacked by all the gangs. The Idols Collective, the Los Panteros. Again, these gangs don't have any real backstory. Basically, your friends are part of these gangs, so the female, who I forget the name of, she's that unrememberable, is part of the Los Panteros, and Kevin, the guy who never wears a shirt and probably one of the best friends in the game that, you know, has a bit of character about him. Not much, by the way, like, it's a very low bar. He's part of the Idols Collective, but no surprise to anyone, they attack, you defend, you then wipe out all the enemies, retrieve the codec, and you save this lady here, who, again, very unmemorable's not a word. But again, for this game, let's make up words, because why the hell not? But, long story short, as I've said, probably once already this video, and maybe I might say it another 7 to 8 times, because that's what this game could have been, a long story short. For example, look at Dead Island 2. Beautiful game, beautiful story, solid game, easy a 9 out of 10 in my book. This one, like a 1 out of 10. It's just so bad for the story. For a time sink, perfect. For a game itself, awful. But the codec, whatever you call it, it gets stolen. Whoa, no, what are we going to do? No one cares. Honestly, it's just bleh. And guess what? You get fired, because the leader of Marshall, I think he's a guy called Marshall, goes batshit insane and goes, "It's your fault," and sacks you. It's just, honestly, it's bad. The writing is bad. It makes my brain hurt and makes me want to do this style of commentary, which is basically just me rambling before this trophy pops up. And that is what I am actually doing. Doing a pretty good job of it as well, if I do say so myself. So after we get fired and become depressed and watch some really cringeworthy cutscenes and listen to some god-awful dialogue, we decide with our 3 friends, Shirtless Kev, Driver Lady and Nerdy Guy, to take over a church that's being renovated by Marshall. This is where I lost interest in the story. It jumped the shark completely. Rather than have you slowly build up, it was like, there's a church there, take it over. Now you're a gang. That is basically how the game went. You destroy some construction equipment, because why not? You then fend off Marshall security, and then take this guy hostage called Bland, which I think was a genius idea by Volition. They really know what they're doing. They'll be around for such a long time. Yeah, but it's a meta commentary about their game. They know that this game is Bland, so they named a character Bland, and it happened just before the game became Bland. Honestly, it's big brain, it's kind of self-deprecating, but I love it. It's just, it's genius. But yeah, you drive him around and do the old Saints Row thing since Saints Row 3 that I can remember, which is you scare the guy into giving you the contract to the church, the deed to the church, and some other stupid stuff. But yeah, this is where I lost interest, because all they had to do, first of all for me, don't let you get fired from Marshall, have you be like a spy from the inside, or work for Marshall, pick up some contacts, learn about small little ventures you can take over, like laundromats and stuff, and then all of a sudden you become a rising threat, and then before long you found out to be an imposter, or you found out to be a spy on the inside, or you're found out to be the bad guy, then you get fired, or then you leave by taking over a Marshall building by calling in the Saints, or something like that. Or failing that, build up from the apartment. Don't do what this game did and basically say, there's the Saints. All of a sudden, you own this church and you are now the Saints. You get the trophy making a name. Honestly, honestly, I could have wrote a better story from this easily. Like I said, do the whole, you start as Marshall, you continue for Marshall for a good third of the game, whilst building up your empire at the same time and recruiting characters and recruiting from inside Marshall that Gwen finds out. She then reports to higher ups of Marshall, a big fight occurs, but then you take over the building. I'm getting distracted. We got the Landlord Trophy, because this is where the game becomes boring and repetitive. You place criminal ventures, you then build up that criminal venture by basically doing repetitive tasks per venture you place, and there's about 15 I believe to place, so have fun with that. And then once you've done all the tasks, you then take over that area. So you've got to wipe out a few threats in the area, complete some side missions to fully complete it, and also buy from the stores, but I think the basic is just completing the tasks for each venture. This one, for the biohazard place, was drive to a location that has a big truck that has these toxic barrels on, bring them back in safe condition. Bob's your uncle, you then complete that and then do it 5 or 6, maybe sometimes 12 times. Then you've completed that venture. You get another trophy, work ethic for completing a venture. Again, this is all the game becomes now. A few random story missions, like this one, Idle Threat, where we tore this guy in a porta potty, and to be fair, we do get a trophy called Wrecking Ball for killing someone with a towed object. Trophy 11, by the way. Yes, only 11. And again, this is where story gun becomes boring. Whilst exploring a hidden history, which again, awful things to do, you can find these glowing blue things. You get the trophy Finders Keepers, because that's the 5th one we found. They are collectibles. You've got to get a certain number of collectibles. 85, I believe, is the point. Once you've done that, you get trophies for that and for getting 5 as well. But when you find a blue thing, take a picture. It's, trust me, better in the long run. I think you press up on the D-pad to pull up the camera. That's what I believe. Anyway, the next trophy we're going for, or the next trophy we're going to achieve, is called a Young Empire, which should pop any second now, which is for reaching Saints Rank 2. It's for basically completing a few story missions and at the same time just, completing criminal ventures. It's just natural progression. You'll get it naturally. Very, very easy to get, as you would expect with a natural progression trophy. Anyway, the next one is something a bit different. It's called Bonus Round for destroying a car with the punching glove weapon called the Pugnus Sanctus Dei, which you unlock through a sightseeing side mission, which is in the East Providencia district. And then once you have it, destroy a car with a weapon, pretty straightforward. Another straightforward one is Food for Thought. Probably a bit harder to get, but you've got to stun an enemy with a vending machine or stagger an enemy with a vending machine. You saw what I did then. It's not that difficult. Just shoot a vending machine with a enemy nearby, it will stagger him, and you'll get yourself a trophy. Go to one of the threats on the map, and that's where you'll find it. Another easy trophy is by going to the Crazy Chicken Dance Studio. I think the only place you can actually buy emotes. Buy 2, in-game money, by the way, not real life money. You get the Smooth Moves trophy for buying 2 emotes, and don't worry, you will never use them until right at the end of the game, and you'll see why. But then back to, again, a story mission, which again, this could have easily tied in to what I thought about with the whole, you then, stay with Marshall, then all of a sudden you go away from Marshall. But no, you go to prison to break out the Newali. Why, I don't know. But you get yourself the kitted out trophy. Well, this is where I got it. For fully upgrading a weapon. Complete all the challenges with a gun. Upgrade it fully in the armory. Or in a gun nuts, whatever it's called, store. And then, yeah, we break out the Newali from the prison. Again, a decent mission, but could have been done so much better. And yeah, we break out the Newali. Forgot to tell you, that's something that happens in this game, because why not? The bad guy at the start, who, will be your friend forever, you for some reason break him out because you need another badass in your team. Even though that you're that person, you have the tech guy who's, the nerdy guy, you've got the driver, the woman, and then you got Shirtless Kev. I have no idea who Shirtless Kev, what role he performs. I think he's just another killer. Again, you don't need another person, but the game was like, let's bring this character back. So that's what they do, and not only is this Newali character just kind of boring, he takes away this potential epic fight on a train by just, killing the boss, the leader of the Los Panteros. That's it, he's dead. There's no, extra bit of the mission where you fight a mini-boss or another boss from that gang, or someone from the gang takes over. No. He just dies, because why not? Anyway, back onto actual trophies and, wrapping up this game as quickly as we can. We're going to go for the Mechanic Trophy, which is for fully upgrading a vehicle. We've upgraded the Attrazione, and there's a reason for that, for the next trophy. Again, buy all the stuff, complete all the challenges to get the signature ability. You get that trophy, and then for this car specifically, you get the multi-boost function, which basically, if you hold the boost, keep driving, don't crash, and, do a relatively decent drive, you'll get continuous boost. Once you've done that 3 times without letting go, and the boost bar refills itself that 3 times, once you then stop your combo, or stop your speed, you get the free refills, which is for refilling the boost bar 3 times in a row. Again, pretty easy trophy to get. It's relatively natural progression, to be honest. Not gonna lie. But yeah, do it with the Attrazione. It's probably the best car in the game. And then we get the next trophy, which is for reaching the max level. Yes, we've already got the max level in this game. That's how quick it is to level up. And then we go for a pretty easy trophy, which for some reason I didn't get sooner because, well, you kind of really don't use other people's vehicles that much, but it's for getting hijacked back from a pedestrian. It's called hijacked. Basically, jump in a car, knock out a pedestrian, let him take it back. There's a simple trophy. But again, you don't really use, NPC vehicles. You kind of just use your own. Next one is Shopping Spree. Buying 1 item from every store. Again, you can see we're getting kind of late game trophies here, and there are the stores on the map. Once you buy an item, it marks as complete. So don't worry about, forgetting where you're up to or missing a store. Go around the map, find the green ones. Every time you see one, buy an item. There you go. It also helps towards other trophies as well. So it's, worth doing. And the next trophy we're going for is another natural progression trophy, which is for reaching Criminal Empire level 3, called Power Players. Again, you get it by playing through the non-existent story in the game, so don't worry too much about it. And then the next one we're going for is Quality Time. Again, a trophy that is relatively kind of natural progression, but you'll see little missions pop up on your phone. There's ones for your friends. Complete all of them to complete all loyalty missions, and that will net you this trophy called Quality Time. And yeah, we've got an upgrade for Driver Lady. Honestly, it does nothing. It's very pointless. Next on the list, and hopefully one we can start ending the game soon with, is Picking Fights. Now this is one we can earn by defeating even a mini-boss from each faction. Now these mini-bosses appear either when you get 5 stars with a certain faction, or during specific missions like this one here. You got one for the Last Panteros, the Idols, Marshall, and I believe the Police. I'm not 100% sure about that, but do it just in case, or make sure that's the last one you do. So get 5 stars with all of them. Eventually this mini-boss with a big skull will appear, or in this case, he's like a target for the mission. Kill one of each from each faction, and there you go. You get yourself a trophy for defeating a mini-boss from each faction. Again, just try the Police. It might be required, I don't know. The next one is a mix of progression and customization. On the map you saw the Cutting Edge. It's one of the ventures you can get later in the game. Once you've got that venture and completed it, you go around the map taking pictures of loads of different materials. You then can customize yourself with these unique things. All you have to do for this one is customize a gun, a car, an item of clothing, and your skin to get the Statement Pieces trophy. And as you can see there, it's, again, a weird one. It's just a mix of customization and natural progression. It's just, again, kind of pointless to get. Next one we're going for is the Et tu? Trophy. Et tu Brut? Et Brutus? Et tu Brutus? Basically, it's just get, oh my god, just big surprise. We get, what's the word, deceived? We get betrayed. That's the one. Brain's gone blank from doing this commentary on this awful game. We get betrayed, there we go, by a friend. That's the literal trophy thing. The trophy thing is get betrayed by a friend, but we know it's not a friend. It's Nunawali. Everyone saw it coming. Oh no, what a shock. We move. So now we've got to get our friends back. This is basically the end game, and thank God for that, because, again, the story is awful, and it needs to finish now. So, what we do to get our friends back, I cut out a lot of it, I'm not going to lie, because it is really boring. I'll show you the basics and explain the rest. We break out from the grave after doing some weird limbo sequence, which is just out of place completely. And we're going to start hunting down the Nawali. We go back to the Gulch from the start of the game, which for you was only about 15-20 minutes ago. For me, was about 20 hours of gameplay ago. We fight loads of his men. We get them to speak. It turns out that all our friends have been kidnapped in this casino that we've never known about or never been into for the entire game, which again, could have been involved in some way, but again, I digress. Let's get back on with finishing off this awkward and awful story. We fly over to the casino, take out some stuff, rescue our friends, and the Nawali then runs away because, why not have a big boss fight in this room? Let's save it for later on, but the job now is to kill the Nawali. I also spell his name well different when I'm doing the commentary script, because if you read how it's written in the top left, it just looks weird. I spell it Nawali, Nawali, and because I'm quite simple. Again, I'm just just babbling here to kind of get rid of the point that this story is boring. You chase him all the way up to the top of the casino and you think, oh, maybe a cool fight at the top. Almost like Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, where you fight your way through the ship and everything, and then Atok Navarro's on the top. You didn't think you'd be hearing about Uncharted during this bit, but yeah, that's how boring this story is. It made me think of other good ending stories, but you then fight a helicopter because Nawali's in a helicopter, because why not? You shoot down the helicopter and he crashes on the top of the casino, and then we begin a final showdown. And I use that word purposefully because it's the name of the trophy you get for completing this mission. But yeah, you shoot down the helicopter, he gets out miraculously because he's some kind of superhero. You then have a duel, which is just a quick time event. And shock of all shocks, we shoot the Noelle and we win the game. Yippee! Woo! We've won! Thank God for that. We earn the trophy showdown, and like I said, effectively we end the story there. And oh my God, thank goodness for that. All our friends are together, we've got this building. Again, they could have done something with this, but no. It's Saints Row. Let's just wait longer and longer. We get the showdown trophy, 28 out of 51. And this is where we start flying through the post-game trophy stuff and doing a bit of a wrap-up. We're going to start with the Chaos Tamer, which is for completing all the... not even completing it. It's for actually killing all of the idol collectives. God, I've got so mixed up with all these trophies. I do apologise. This one is for killing all the idols collectives. Through the story, you'll kill a few of them. This one is part of a wanted contract. You have to complete all the wanted contracts anyway, so it's kind of natural progression if you want to get the platinum. You find this dude, you'll kill him or do that. I don't know. There's men and women everywhere. This game isn't sexist. It's just shit. You kill him or her, like I said. Kill that person sat in the car who's just doing nothing because the mission was over. You get the Chaos Tamer trophy, which is for killing all members of the Idols Collective. Next, we go on to this one, which is for completing all of the wanted contracts, which is called the Professional. Again, all the wanted missions are through the phone. Dead easy to do. No real hardship there. Then the next one is for Neighbourly, which is for completing 5 districts. Build an empire, wipe out all the threats, and complete all the missions to get a completed section. We've got to do it for all of them, so yeah, don't worry about that. Now on to the ones that I recorded using the media gallery in-game, so if they look a bit dodgy, I do apologise, but this is how I do most of my trophy guides from now on, or platinum trophies. That was Tourist for basically completing a scavenger hunt. Dead easy to do, just take loads of photos from the collectibles on map. The next one is Armour Piercing for killing a tank driver using the Aperture device. Again, you get it from the Scientist R&D missions. Use it, shoot the tank driver through it. Next is Untouchable, like I said, for completing 10 crimes of opportunity. Again, when they show up, do them. And then you get the Criminal Empire level 4 one for basically, reaching Criminal Empire level 4. Complete all the Criminal Empires when they show up. When you've placed them, complete them, you get the Masters of San Eliso trophy. The next is a bit of a natural one that you get just through playing the game, which is called Challenge Accepted. This one is for completing 25 challenges in-game. You'll have to complete a lot more, so don't worry, you will get that just from getting the other trophies. The next one is for completing 10 districts, which is called Community Outreach. Again, completing districts is just completing all the side missions, wiping out all the threats, and finishing off the criminal ventures. The next is for Always Be Hustling, for completing all side hustles. What a shock. Now on to one that's a bit less story related and collectible / just boring grind related, which is for The Spins, which is for doing a barrel roll. Hold X or A on the Xbox whilst in the air with a car, tilt the right stick, then you can do a barrel roll and do flips and all that. Next we go for the Closet Space trophy, which is for buying or owning 100 items of clothing. Again, go to stores, buy clothing, pretty simple. Next is It's a Bird, which is for completing all wingsuit challenges. Apparently glitched, I didn't have any issues with it. Some of the challenges in game, again, very easy to get. Next up is also Heard You Like Wheels, which is for unlocking all vehicle upgrades, which are viewable when you're in the Jim Rob's garage or the Saints garage. Again, I didn't earn them all technically, but I got it, so yeah, just complete any challenges when you enter a vehicle and you'll eventually get that trophy. Next is one that's a bit of like a weird one to get. It's called Fiesta Time, which is for hitting a launch pinata, which you get during completing criminal ventures and stuff. You've got to hit one of them with a pinata stick, which is a customization option for a crowbar. Once you've got that, you'll get the Fiesta Time trophy. Next is for technically completing the game fully, for 100% in the story aspect, for completing all the criminal ventures, which is called We Could Go Home, or, which is for performing karaoke, and also A Golden Age, which is actually for getting the Criminal Empire level 5. Next up is Jack of all trades for acquiring every perk, aka complete a lot of fucking challenges. The challenges are viewable in the phone section under missions. Just press right on the what is it called now, R1 or whatever it is on the B on the Xbox, to skip across to the next tab with the challenges. Complete loads of them. It tells you when you unlock your next perk. Keep going until you unlock all perks. Next one, again, a bit of a weird one. A car named Simone. Do a quad backflip. Requires patience and the car upgrades. Use the vehicle I use here or look up a guide. But it requires a lot of patience and your car upgrades to do it. And then next is All Mine for completing all 15 districts in Santa Aliso. And one of the last trophies we'll get, the third to last, is it's the collector one. It's the last of the quickfire runoff we've done here, which is for, again, taking pictures of 85 collectibles. Now on to the final bit of the game. Oh, the trophy you have to leave till last, which is a online co-op one. Again, join a co-op session with your friend. Go on like trophy boards, go on achievement boards. Find someone willing to do this, and again, do this at the end of the game, because I heard it can glitch other challenges and other progression. Complete a prank by going to the taunts menu and holding left. You begin the prank, complete the challenge, you get the prankster trophy, and then for us, we get the completionist for completing Saints Row and getting all the trophies. Yes! It's done. Finally. Fuck this game. Don't worry guys, we're almost done. On to the wrap up part of the video. For the game itself, I give it a 2 out of 10. The story is terrible. The gameplay is also bad. The only redeeming feature is the shooting / combat side of things. If you can pick up this game for free on PlayStation Plus, do it. If you're going to spend money, don't spend more than £10 or $10. Wherever you're from. It takes about 40 hours for platinum the game. Well, that's how long it took me. You could probably do it in 35, maybe 32 if you do the challenges quick. But yeah, you're looking at about 40 hours. And for the difficulty, about a 3 out of 10. It's very easy because there's no like difficulty related trophies. But the collectibles and the challenges are just so time consuming. And the whole collectible kind of nature of the game, that's what drags this platinum out to a 3 out of 10. If it's a bit quicker, it'd be a 1 or a 2, no doubt about it. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Pick up this easy plat if you want to. And thank you for the support on the other video. And the next video, not a clue what it is. You'll find out soon enough. But until then, goodbye.